One of North Carolina's prominent families is suing Atrium Health System over millions of dollars in inheritance. Cannon Textile Mill descendants want to stop Atrium Health from receiving distributions from the family trust. That trust was created in 1965 and provided income to the former Cabarrus Memorial Hospital, which merged with Atrium Health in the 2000s. Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joins us now, and that's the crux of this whole thing here. The descendants say that Atrium is no longer Cabarrus Memorial, changed names. They shouldn't be paying the hospital. They want that kind of that money coming to them right now. Where does it go?
I mean, it goes to the court to make a determination of who makes the correct argument. I mean, this goes to the very core of estate planning. And so you had the grandmother that made these determinations that after her grandson passed, that whatever proceeds were left in the trust would go to the hospital. Well, that hospital, their argument is it no longer exists. Atrium has now turned over a number of times that hospital, and with their merger to the larger hospital system, making them almost the fifth largest hospital system in the country, the family is saying, listen, this is not her original intent. And so this case will really be determined on who has the better argument. The hospital is saying, well, we're still the same hospital. We still service that same area. This hospital is only changed in name, not in intent. She wanted to go to a hospital that was servicing that Concord area. We're still doing the exact same thing. Nothing's changed except for our name.
Will it all come down to the judge, or what happens next year?
Is
the language of how this is structured? Or
it only comes down to the name. I mean, the judge will obviously look at precedent. They'll say, well, in these types of situations, what have we done in the past and what will prevail? And it really will be a who can provide the information best based case law and the facts to show what was determined. I mean, but by looking at it from the original intent of the grandmother, it seemed like her intention was that it was not just a hospital, but that specific hospital. And so it would seem like it would tend to say that that money would not continue to go to Atrium, who has now become this conglomerate of a hospital, not a local hospital. That was her intention, and that's what they'll have to prove. They'll have to prove what was her original intent, and it seems like they've pressed this outside of her original intent.
One of the questions, too, I have is that this was, it changed over the merger years ago. How come it took this long?
That's the same thing that I was thinking, because this original name change happened in like 1980 something. And so if you're saying that this change happened in the 80s, I don't understand how the family, and I couldn't get it from the filing or the pleading, why they're deciding to do it now. And I know they gave notice to Atrium that, listen, we're not turning over the payments to you. Atrium hit them right back and said, well, you have an obligation to turn over these payments because of what's listed in the trust. And they laid out the obligations that, look, the trust says we only need to be a hospital that services the area. We're still doing that. Pay us our money. And you would think that this would be something that could have avoided litigation, but we're a very litigious society. And so when things can't be resolved with us talking about it, we need the court to go ahead and make a determination. If I look to the pleading, the last thing I'll add is that when you're asking for certain things, sometimes you're asking for an injunction, stop doing something. Well, here they're asking for declaratory judgment. They're asking the judge to make a determination. I can't agree, the other side can't agree, so judge, you stand in the middle and make a determination. Is it a ball? Is it a strike? And tell us who's right. Right now, neither one of them can make a determination because Atrium believes they're right, the family believes they're right, and somewhere it's probably in the middle.
Yeah, and it's certainly going to be a lot of money involved either way, and we'll have to wait on that decision. It could take some time, though.
I mean, it typically does take time. You'll have interrogatories, you'll have pleadings, you'll have the whole discovery process as it comes with any type of litigation, but it will ultimately, as I stated before, I think it comes down to the original determination of the grandmother. What was her intent? Because the court does not want to go against what she said because she can no longer speak for herself. That document has to do this.
All right, a story we'll keep following for sure here on QC News and Queen City News. All right, Khalif Rhodes, thanks.